Audio monitoring. So much time is spent on setting up on staging the scene, selecting the appropriate camera angle, lighting the scene, and providing instructions for those on set, that sometimes not enough time is allocated to checking and double-checking the audio recording setup. While preparing an interview, one should ask the host and the interviewee to have a conversation or to read from a script at the same level they would normally talk during the actual recording. They will need to do this for a few minutes so as to give the necessary time to the audio recording expert to check all of the connections, check that the computer or recording device is doing the recording, and monitor and adjust the levels as necessary. Setting audio levels is very important, as is avoiding clipped audio. One of the tricky things with recording audio is setting the appropriate recording level. It may take a few trial runs to get the most optimum recording level set up for your recording device. The problem lies in the fact that it is all too easy to either send the recording device too much level or not enough level. In the instance that you set the recording level too high, well, this will produce a nasty digital distortion. The recording devices have a 0 dB limit, and if the level exceeds this amount, clipping will occur, resulting in a recording with digital distortion. However, if the level is set too low, then the recording will be quiet, and it will be required in post to amplify or boost the signal. Now, boosting a weak signal will result in a signal with a lot of noise, which will frustrate the audience. As a general rule, you should set your recording level somewhere between -20 to -10 dB for a good sound. The maximum is about -6, but I would keep it to about -10 at most. This will allow you to absorb any louder peaks while being loud enough to maximize the recording detail. These are the guidelines, but you still need to listen to the recording to figure out the recording device's sweet spot. In terms of headphones, having a good quality pair is recommended. When directing and shooting a video on set, someone must be assigned to use headphones. Preferably, this person is not the photographer, as it can be overwhelming to take responsibility over the image and audio at the same time. Trying to do both will surely lead to failure. If it has to be the director who listens to the headphones to offload some of the work from the photographer, well, then that is a better solution. Hopefully, though, there will be a dedicated assistant who will manage the audio recording aspect of the production. Headphones are important because it is not possible to determine whether the audio is getting recorded properly by simply looking at the view meter. To be able to tell if the recording is clear, or if it has distortions, or if it is unbalanced between the different elements, these things all require an active listener. The sound must be listened, and the listener must decide if it passes the different quality metrics. Sometimes you may run into the situation of needing to record clear sound in a noisy place. When you do enough audio editing for video productions, you begin to realize that it is very difficult to remove unwanted sounds, such as noise or environmental sounds, from a recorded track. On the other hand, if it is required to add sounds to a track and mix them in, well, that is pretty easy. The problem video productions often face deals with the capture of sound that is free from nearby noise. Say you want to record an outdoor scene at a nice cafeteria. Say the cafeteria has a dozen patrons, and perhaps you are only trying to record the conversation of 2 actors. Instructing everyone to perform the scene as it would happen in real life is not useful for the purpose of sound recording. Under the condition that everyone talks at their regular levels, the background conversations of the patrons would interfere with the clean audio recording of the conversation of the 2 main actors. In this instance, you want to separate the background talk from the foreground talk, and this can be done by instructing the cafe patrons to pantomime talk or fake talk while allowing you to focus the audio capture of the main actors to a foreground track. Then it would be the turn of the background cafe patrons to talk, and you will have to record them on a background track. In the editing suite, you would mix these two tracks and set the balance accordingly.